Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games. Welcome back to part 5 of my Bakaran Republic campaign here in Hearts of Iron 4 Equestria at War version 1.8. So it has been, I want to say, a week since I last recorded for this series, because I think I'd been drinking when I last recorded, but also I've been spending the time in between not only working my regular work schedule, but also additional overnight graveyards, which is going to feel great when my paycheck comes in because of all that overtime and extra hours, but whew, sure was not feeling great afterwards. But now I've slept, I'm rested up, and I'm going to try to see if, well, I'm not going to be able to knock the whole campaign out today, but I want to, I don't know, maybe we can actually form the coalition or something. So I think that's what we were in the middle of doing, and I was debating about the racial tolerance thing. We're actually not going to do that because I've got a pretty healthy lead, so I don't think that I need it right now. Not to mention the additional political power, I don't think I need that either. I've kind of got more than I need. Let's see, Stalingrad is threatening Equestria. Well, they are doing the, yeah, they did do Sinister. Changeling Liberation. Gain war goal, focus on changeling lands. Interesting. Not sure why he's doing that. It kind of just seems like a waste of a focus right now. Oh, let's turn off the day-night cycle. Okay. Stalingrad declares war on Equestria. That makes more sense. So, let's keep the research coming along. Come on, come on. And, I was actually thinking about doing the tanks, because eventually we're going to have the factories for it, and of course we're going to want to liberate the Griffonian Empire and whatnot. Just change the government a little bit, that's all. Okay, so what's going on with everybody down here? I think we were... Let's see, that's the Marine Guard. Alright, we wanted to get some of you... Whoa, whoops! Did I click the wrong button? Yeah, it's K. Oh, my knuckle was hitting the wrong button, so that's why all that stuff popped up. I hit the Windows thing with my knuckle. Also, first time really using this new mouse I just got, because even though I had like 3 computer mice, none of them are working. They've all crapped out in one way or the other, unfortunately. But this one, I just basically got the one that was on sale at the store that I could pick up like immediately. And it seems to be running just fine, which is good. Okay, who's going to be in charge of my special forces here? Winter Specialist, maybe? No, Bearer of Artillery. Golden Target, I like that name. Alright, let's edit these Marines. Okay, cool, I already made them into the 7.2s that I like. Maybe I should have gotten that Theorist earlier, after all. Alright, now we have to be careful about losing leadership. I did pick the agriculture person already, right? Yeah, Minister of Agriculture, Star Chaser. So that's going to help with our conscription needs and things like that. Okay. So, unfortunately, my conscription law is as high as it's going to go for right now, which is not good. We need to keep an eye on that Vittenland isn't going to take control of the coalition. I forgot to read what this said. Rivertrans will develop the traditionally neglected border roads and railroads to ensure that it is easy to travel between countries as it is within countries. Okay. This reminds me of something. I'm just opening something in another monitor here that I'm going to be looking at later after I'm done recording this. The trains just reminded me of something I wanted to research. Alright, big one here, founding the River Parliament. So, the integration of the Riverlands is not a project of the elites alone. We must be sure to keep the citizens involved as well. A directly elected parliament of the river community shall be created by giving this parliament a say in some matters that concern the entire community. We are sure to increase popular support for more integration, so this is going to increase our political power gain in more than one way, as well as increasing our production efficiency cap, which is nice. Man, that's great. I like that little new piece of art there. Very cool. I think I talked about this, how like all of this got all the actual like little things got switched, which is super cool. All right, so we're working on those tanks. I think we need to maybe improve the reconnaissance. No, how about factory stuff? Okay, or just industry in general is what I mean. Okay. Alright, we've bypassed the Convention on Racial Tolerance. It turns out Lake City was doing that. Lake City has convened the members of the community to discuss the matter of racial equality. They propose a new convention aimed at promoting tolerance between the many races of the community. Signatories of the convention will be committed to eliminating racial discrimination and promoting understanding between all races. It also requires its signatories to outlaw hate speech and criminalizing racial violence. Lake City wants to form a Pan-Riverlands Committee to oversee the implementation of the convention and monitor its use. The verdicts made by this committee would be binding in the countries that signed the treaty. This convention will likely make other races more eager to join the community in the future. So we will sign that. Good for our stability. Changeling Olenia is now considered to be a major power in of itself, even though it's a collaborationist government. Huh. Is this a new portrait or a brand new leader? I can't say I've seen that guy before. Equestria just recognized the Griffonian Republic. Which is the Griffonian Republic? Oh, up here. Oh, damn, I should have actually read that. Sorry. But it looks like with Stalingrad jumping in... Yakistan has proven to be a problem now. They're not at war with the changelings, it looks like. But still, the war on two fronts means that things are not looking so great for Equestria at the moment. Shire has fallen. Okay. I'm just buying things with my political power. There's just not much to do. Okay, flight risk, air superiority, and the ground support. I think flight risk, this is the one who we're going to have in charge of our tanks there. Okay, cool. So, insofar as tanks go, I had a setup that I wanted to do, a template. Just give me a second here. I was going to do... What kind of tanks was I going to do, though? I probably was going to go medium. Let's go light, you know, on the way there. Okay. I think I was going to pull out a template that I used way back. I'm talking like 3 years ago when I played the Austrian Empire in Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich, where I basically took over the world with virtually no cores because I did the military occupation tree. So that worked out really nicely for me before. Now I think we're going to go, yeah, the breakthrough, good for the armor. Yeah, we're doing supremacy. Even though that's typically not the direction I go in. Okay. We need to keep ahead of them on the factory count. There goes Crystal City, so the Empire is basically done with. But Stalingrad itself is actually getting pushed back a bit. Ooh, yes, reduce the consumer goods. Okay, so we're going to set up the River Central Bank. To control the monetary matters of the community, we must coordinate the efforts of the national banks of the member states. A supranational central river bank will make sure that all the national banks play fair. If we push this idea, perhaps we can deliver the bank's first president, increasing our power in the expanding intergovernmental bureaucracy. So yeah, a nice minus 2% on the consumer good factories, which right now we're at 20%. Yeah, so if we can get that up, that'd be great. Anybody from military high command? Nope, there's nobody there. I really don't care about this sort of stuff. Raiding fleet, whatever. Just to fill that up, I guess. Could do some, yeah, military training. Good, good. No, that's not the one I want. Or is it? Yeah, I'm remembering now. I was starting to. build this. I think we're going to go just with a standard 20. Although we might... we might actually throw in some anti-air here. Oh, can't afford it. Alright, well, if that's the case, let's just leave this... We'll just do a regular 20 for now. Yeah, they mostly just need to hold the line anyway. It's okay. Okay. Alright. Oh. Okay. Yeah, if looks like Equestria, because they were trying so hard to deal with Stalingrad, they are going to lose. Huh. See, I don't know if we can go full tanks though. I don't know. What are we gonna do here? Okay. What's going on with okay, Hellquill has gotten big, you know, they're under Kettering, that's pretty standard. But what is the Empire up to? They've done the Aristocrats. Jeez, I forgot how freaking huge their tree is now. I think that the Phathesia version of the yeah, just Phathesia in general has the biggest focus tree in all of Hearts of Iron 4. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is still the case, like when you consider all the different branches. I might be confusing it with something else though. But it's pretty friggin' enormous. Okay, the Rivbit. So it's their version of the Euro. Which, funny thing, so, you know how I was flipping Euro coins to do the choices earlier? I guess I had grabbed a second. I didn't know I had 2 Euro coins, and they're the same thing. They're both 20-cent ones from Ireland. So that was kind of funny that I found 2. This is like, wait, I thought... Alright, so it is a very annoying manner to exchange currency whenever you go abroad. This matter is even worse for companies that trade in several of the member states. To show both political unity and to help improve trade between the community members, let us propose a single currency, the Rivbit. Which the important thing for us, besides you know, stacking onto our already pretty dang huge lead, is once again a reduction in the consumer goods. All right, that's good to see. We built 1 factory, so did Lake City. We're barely staying ahead of them. All right, all right. We'll figure it out. I also found another interesting coin that I forgot I had. It's of Elizabeth II, the current Queen of England. But it's like got the Latin and, you know, it's Regina Elizabeth, whatever the heck. But I just like it. It kind of, you know, harkens back to those ancient Roman coins with the different emperors. Oh, I thought it was cool. Alright, so that's why I picked it up for a quarter. Alright, looks like the Griffonians are going south here to Griffinhain, which I think is also pulling them into war with the Free Territories. No. Under Nestor Bernier. So basically this is anarchistic, the anarchistic area. I've done a guide on this country, go look it up. And, okay, we're working on the Grand Battle Plan, we're working on this, we're working on that. We've hit the year 1012. Do I want to take this ahead of time? No, it's too much. Much too much. I think a little bit of motorized will be good for the eventual tank divisions I hope to make. But we're mostly still just waiting around trying to form the Greater Riverlands nation. So I guess let's see what are some interesting things that I've been talking about. Yeah, I've just been working a ton lately. The place I was doing extra hours at was the local outlet malls, which I will now never, ever, ever, ever go to without getting paid. There were insects everywhere, especially cockroaches. And I'm talking about department stores, you know. It was so freaking gross. They were like, I'm not somebody who freaks out about bugs. Like, I've eaten bugs, and like I've had like huge cockroaches, like, you know, big hissing cockroaches. I've like held them and even petted them in my hand and stuff. But this was just dirty, run-of-the-mill cockroaches. You know, real bottom dwellers. Hold on a second, let me read this. If our economies are to be integrated, it makes no sense that goods and people can't easily travel between the member states of the REC. We will propose a free travel area between the countries so that all our citizens can freely move around. This will surely help economic growth with luck. It will also help create understanding between all the different inhabitants of the communities. Yeah, but it's just one of those things, like, I'm just there at the mall, and you know, it's just me, it's the middle of the night, and I'm just thinking, isn't there food? They sell a lot of food here. Like, this has got to be in violation of some health codes, right? Because even when the sun would come up, but you'd see less of them because there was light, but... Oh, it was so freaking gross, and they were clearly really comfortable with people because they would just crawl right up my legs and all over my body. So like if I wasn't constantly moving, constantly squishing, they would, like, even if I stopped for a second, they would just crawl right up my body. Couldn't believe it. So I will never ever go there again unless I'm being paid to work there. So nasty. Like just it's just full-blown Starship Troopers, just bugs, you know. What else has been going on? Oh, free travel area. So who did this? Yeah, Lake City did it. So the free travel area is this one. So this means now we can go straight to the River Union, I think. A radical proposal was brought up in a meeting by the ambassador from Lake City. They proposed that a free movement area should be realized between the member states of the community. That would mean abolishing border controls in our internal borders and losing control of who comes and who goes into our country across the border of the community. This would come with several other reforms, like a transnational police agency to catch cross-border criminals. Although connecting our peoples together is a good thing, a border was always considered a sign of national sovereignty. Should we part with our borders? So we're going to get another 3% stability, which incidentally, why aren't we at 100? I thought we should have been by now, but we're going to say if money can flow freely, so should our citizens. So we're going to do that, and now we are now 70 days away. We're going to go right into the River Union, get that done. There's been a wild growth of institutions, objectives, and laws regarding the river economic community. We will need a new treaty conference to make sense of it all and to untangle the bureaucratic mess we've created. With a free trade area, free travel, and a single currency, we will be able to proudly call ourselves the River Union now. Obviously, in reference to the European Union, because actually, when I say a lot of American people, I probably should say Americans don't really understand how old the European Union actually is, because you know, a lot of its stuff comes out from post World War II, right? So like you had things like the Treaty of Rome, a lot of different things that were going on in you know, the 50s and the 60s and the et cetera, that you know, they're all tying themselves together. So like you had the coal and steel community and all that stuff, but before it was actually called the European Union, it took a little while. Of course, now things are so confusing. I actually once took a class because my minor is in government. I took a class on the European Union, and boy, that stuff was complicated. Because you have all of these sections and subsections and outliers of what the European is, because like you have things like there's the Council of Europe, and everybody who's in the European Union is in the Council of Europe, but not everybody in the European Union, or I should say not everybody in the Council of Europe is in the European Union. And then you've got the Eurozone, which not everybody is in, which is not, but like obviously the Eurozone is within the European Union, but then you have like the EEA, which is a lot of the European countries, but not quite all of them. Then there's the BSEC and the Union State, and then there's the monetary agreements. It gets real confusing. So yeah, that class was complicated, and it was a smart class too, but we still sometimes had kind of trouble keeping up. Okay, no need to improve the workers' conditions. We've already maxed out our stability. And we just have, although what I could do is I could start doing anti-raids against like the communists and stuff, and then improve the workers' conditions to increase the stability that after I've reduced it. All right, let's check out what Lake City's doing though. Okay, is anybody doing? Okay, it doesn't look like. Well, what the heck was that? Oh, Barad. I've heard Barad gets kind of wild these days. That's probably who I'm going to play next. Okay. I think we're just going to go for it here. So, okay, the army. Ooh, I like that daily experience gain. Yeah. We're going to do this because I've already got way more political power than I need. So, the River Army. The Riverlands have stood side by side against foreign invaders for centuries. Having a unified River Army would help ensure the everlasting safety and security of the Union, whilst helping push down the cost of defense for our member states. In addition, by integrating and more closely linking the armies together, we can expand our own international influences. Incidentally, so the that European Union class I took, I was also taking. This is like one of the worst things that ever happened in my entire university career. I had that professor for a separate government class, and they would meet on the same days. I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays. Anyway, so like, I'd go to one of his classes in the morning, and then I'd go to another one in the afternoon. He's not the only professor I ever did that with, but that's just how it is. So when the finals came, this is when I was at the university I went to before I transferred to New Mexico State University. Which was a pretty shitty university, not NMSU, it was the old one. I should just call them out, actually. It was UTEP. UTEP was University of Texas El Paso. Really shitty university. Needs to be burned to the ground, and nobody would care. And nothing of value would be lost. Anyway, so they would have this stupid finals schedule, and I understand that you can't just always have people's finals at the exact same time that the class usually is, especially because you want to give more time for finals and stuff like that. They would just shuffle up the schedules all over the freaking place, and so it was a total mess. And anyway, what ended up happening was I had set up my schedule, and I'm not saying this isn't my fault as well. I'm the one who should have checked it out, but I went to go to my final for one of the classes, and nobody was in there, and like the classroom was empty, except for like one other person who also had come in. Like, wait, what's going on here? Don't see him. And basically, look, long story short, I had gone to the wrong time for the final because I mixed up the two classes with that professor. And so I went to it because they were also in different buildings, the two classes, and so I did manage to go to that European Union classes final, but I totally screwed up and missed completely the other one, which of course brought down my final grade. So I didn't get an A in that class, which was horrible. Yeah. Okay, so Griffonia Republic's getting big. So yeah, that really sucked. I was just so upset. This hegemony grows large. Okay, United River government time, and then I think we can actually form it in this episode. So yeah, that sucked. But I don't go there anymore. What is this? Wittenland is giving a speech. Today, Her Majesty Queen White Star of Wittenland held a public speech in Wittenberg about the River Coalition, Wittenland's role in it, and its future. She had invited representatives from all member states to attend and listen to her speech, and many foreign reporters had come as well. In her speech, she spoke of the importance of Riverlander unity in these uncertain times and of the value of cooperation in all facets of society to ensure mutual prosperity and security between members of the coalition. This, she said, was especially important as Western Griffin states have begun to rapidly consolidate after the... Hold on a second, I need to wipe my glasses. Spotty. Okay. After the collapse of the empire and possibly have ambitions in the east, she acknowledged that the nations of the Riverlands are very diverse, having various races, cultures, and forms of government, yet said that diversity was the strength of the River Coalition. Exchange of different ideas allows for new ones to be born, and each nation can focus on their specialty and share their advancements with one another. As an example, she spoke of Vinland focusing on mastering magic and training unicorn soldiers, while Nibusia has its elite Pegasus units. However, she also said that in the end, the foundation of the coalition should be democracy. Even those nations with more authoritarian societal systems should have elected representatives in the coalition itself so that the alliance never becomes dominated by the leader of one member state. She warned that any cooperation will break apart if any member seeks to grow stronger than its allies, so a balance of power would need to be maintained as well. She ended the speech by saying that any old grudges and rivalries between the coalition members should be forgotten and buried because it was simply more beneficial to have friendly relations with one another. "United we stand, divided we fall," were her last words. The gathered audience cheered and stomped the ground with their hooves in approval. The representatives from other coalition states did not necessarily share their enthusiasm, but all of them found at least something in her speech that they agreed on. Wise words. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let's set up the Grand Assault. And, yeah, we're going for that United Government. The 200 Battalion plan. Well, can't click for details, can I? What's this? War propaganda against Stalingrad. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, yeah, but I was going to, Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to ban communism, we're going to ban supremacy, and now we'll start to improve the workers' conditions to improve the stability that we just, you know, hurt real bad. Looks like we did not actually get rid of it, though. Oh, okay, no, yeah, now the daily change is going through, so that's good. Can we ban neutrality? What is it that makes a man turn neutral? Was he just born with a heart full of neutrality? Points to anybody who gets that reference. Alright, we want that, and we want that. Okay. Yep, we're going to definitely need more factories before all this is done. Oh, right. I'll just do that. Alright, so we're going to call this 2nd Infantry Corps. Alright. Interesting stuff to talk about, though. Infantry Corps. I've been, do I want to do war propaganda? Sure. War support doesn't hurt. And you know what? I might actually do the industrial integrations. Yeah, because I just have so much political power and nothing to spend it on. So I never do those integrations usually. Okay. Plus it'll keep me ahead of Vinland, because it looks like they've caught up with me in regards to the factories, which is a problem. We've been invited to the River Games, the premier athletic events of the Riverlands held every 4 years. This year's games are to be held in the River Republic. Traditionally, most nations in the Treaty of Coldstream have attended, and there is strong popular interest in the core events of sprint, sailing, jumping, javelin throwing, and fencing. Of course, we will attend. Speaking of sports, boy, Texas baseball just looking real scummy lately. Between the Astros, aka the Asterix, aka the Houston Fuck the Astros, and their little cheating scandal, they have just been being just total lack of sportsmanship, being real scumbags this season. But I don't know if any of you follow baseball, but there was this recent incident that just happened where basically a guy on the San Diego Padres hit a grand slam, and his team was up by several runs, and he also did it on a 3-0 count, which, for those of you who, without getting too into it, basically a 3-0 count is when there's 3 balls, 0 strikes, so it's very, very likely that the pitcher is going to throw something straight up the middle to get a strike. And so he hits a bomb right out of there, which I think was his first ever grand slam. He runs the bases. He's happy. Like, he didn't flip the bat, which in hindsight he should have flipped that damn bat. But you see, fucking okay. Here we go. River Federation officially starting. But people were saying, oh, it's an unwritten rule. You're not supposed to do that. Not when you're up. And, like, oh, you kind of got to give the pitcher like a pity strike or whatever. And there's just all this stuff. Like, I've just hated it over the last few years of baseball. The pitchers are becoming whinier and whinier, and they get so pissed every time somebody hits a homer off of them. And they're cursing at hitters, and they're throwing at them more and more, which, you know what, that's part of the game, throwing at hitters, but it's just, they're just infants. I don't know how else to say it. They just become little children. And it's so frustrating. And then the thing that's the worst part of it all, though, because, like, the Rangers, the ones who got blown out by this kid, who, you know, the manager's going, wow, you know, it's one of those unwritten rules, but I guess just breaking those things is the norm or whatever. You know, he's just being a real passive-aggressive bitch about it. I'm sorry, I don't know how else to describe it. He's just being a passive-aggressive little bitch. And but then the San Diego Padres guy, his own manager, threw him under the bus saying, oh, yeah, we were signaling for him to take a strike, to not swing at that. It's unbelievable. Just, this isn't Little League. There's no mercy rule. If you're getting blown out, that's your punishment. And it's like these people are being paid millions of dollars to play a game, and good for them that they're able to do that. I'd love, you know, I'm not getting millions of dollars to play this, let me tell you. But I sure, that would be awesome. Link to my Patreon below. Anyway, and now you're gonna tell these guys, don't swing the bat, don't hit grand slams. Hitting a grand slam in the major leagues. You know how many kids, millions of kids growing up, that's like their dream? Just absurd. The communes of Yale are doing well. Oh, it's getting kind of nasty here. Is the Griffonian Empire going to be able to hang on? The free territories are at war with Aqualia. You know what? It's kind of taking a little while here, so I think we are going to end it before the Federation is formally announced. Let me just read this, I guess. After years of gradual integration, the River Union now finds itself ready to take the last step towards federalization by revoking the right of secession and officially declaring the river government sovereign over, probably sovereignty is what it's supposed to say, over the riverlands. The member states of the coalition will cease to exist as separate entities on the world stage. Remember, it's early access, guys. There's a lot of grammatical errors. These things happen. A dream for many, the River Federation will rise in their place as a global superpower. And so we're the ones who have done the most by a very, very wide margin. 16, the River Republic's 6, like Cities 3, and then Vittenland, I guess, got 1 off of the Queen's speech or something. So yeah, definitely in charge here. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me on Conquering History Games. In the next episode, we will form the Federation, and then we can actually start thinking about what we're going to do to safeguard the East. Because just look at this Griffonian chaos. We must bring order and democracy where there is chaos. So I'll see you then when we do it.